Welcome to the Dan Casper Show podcast, your chance to catch the full show anytime, anywhere. If you missed it live on the radio, no worries. We've got you covered with all the sports talk, opinions, interviews, and conversations from the show. From the Packers to the Brewers to the biggest stories in sports and around Wisconsin, it's all right here. This is the Dan Casper Show podcast. All right, halftime is over with, and we are on to the third quarter. Thanks for hanging out with us and making us a part of your start this morning. We're going to chat with RJ Cardinal. We'll get his thoughts now that we heard from new athletic director Sean Eichhorst with his introductory press conference and such. So we'll get RJ's thoughts on that now that he's let it marinate here a little bit and getting set closer and closer to Badger football and college football beginning. So we'll hit that up and get RJ's thoughts on the current state of the Badger world. So that's coming up in about 15 minutes or so. We'll get back to some football talk and baseball talk your way here. We got Zach on the video stream saying that, well, first of all, good morning to everybody who I missed saying good morning to on there. But it says Jordan Love is 100% top 10. I think he's top 6. He is the most underrated quarterback in the league. You can continue to send those on over, along with your Toyson Ford Grind My Gills Tuesdays. What is grinding your gears? Get it off your chest. Hit us up. Let us know. Okay? Also, let me know your I'm not saying, but I'm just saying. Okay? I'm not saying, but I'm just saying. Send those on over. But let's do a little hoops chat here because it is Summer League going on. So maybe you've been following a little bit. Pay attention to some of the newcomers here for the Bucks. If you haven't, you've missed out on one of their rookies who is off to a pretty impressive start with Summer League. Brayden Burries, the guard from Arizona. 3 games. You're looking at 18 points against Miami on the 10th, 26 points against the Spurs on the 12th, 23 points last night against the Suns. Last night against the Suns, he put up not only 23 points, but he had 8 rebounds, 6 assists, and 4 steals. He's off to an impressive start. First, I know it's just a first impression, and it's just Summer League. I get that, and I don't want to over-exaggerate. I don't want to get so excited with this thing. But he looks the part. He looks the part so far. He's really been impressive. You just hope that this translates to the race. Now, I don't know what his rookie year is going to be. I don't know how it's all going to play out. I'm sure there's going to be some ups and downs. He is going to be a rookie for crying out loud. But if we look at these 3 games so far in Summer League for the Bucks, there's a lot to like there. And I just hope that he continues to get better, continues to grow as a player, and hopefully, maybe he'll be a long-term fixture with the Milwaukee Bucks. The other rookie, Nate Amons, against Phoenix last night, 8 points in 22 minutes. He had 6 points against Miami in his other game. So, again, on the flip side, don't panic too much on some of those numbers from Nate, the other rookie. Okay, we got a lot of time here, but if you were to have a overreaction Tuesday or an overreaction to Summer League basketball, or not to overreact to what we've seen from Brayden Burries so far. There's other stuff or other rumors surrounding the Milwaukee Bucks. So we talked a little bit about Gary Trent Jr. yesterday. And could there be an investigation? Some are like, it's going to be really, really hard to see if there was anything that the Bucks did what they were supposed to with the Gary Trent signing. It's just NBA might just view it as maybe a bad contract, bad signing, or whatever else it may be. But there are some other rumors about maybe some more moves for the Bucks. Peyton Watson has been mentioned as a possibility. Now, Mark Stein said that the Bucks are interested in a sign and trade for Peyton Watson from the Denver Nuggets. Peyton Watson is when you look at him, so the Nuggets need some backcourt help. They need some dudes back there. And when you look at the depth on the Bucks, well, they've got some options. Right? They've got a lot of guards. Peyton Watson is a 6'7" wing player who last year for the Denver Nuggets averaged 14.6 points per game and 4.9 rebounds per game. I don't know if it would be a Kevin Porter Jr., a Ryan Rollins that would potentially be involved in a deal, but you look at Peyton Watson and his career. He's was a first-round pick in 2022. And so far in his career, he's averaged 8.7 points per game. He's been in the league since 2022. His rookie year, he played 23 games for Denver, 3.3 points per game. But his minutes, his opportunities, and his numbers have increased every single year. He's gone from 3.3 points a game to 6.7 to 8.1 and exploded to 14.6 points per game this past year. Started 40 games out of 54 that he has played. He also shot 41.1% from the field, or from three-point line last year, and shot 49% from the field last year. So, intriguing option. I mean, when you look at kind of the Bucks depth chart, let's say for just argument's sake that they trade Kevin Porter Jr. for him. You throw him on there, I think he's probably going to be, you're starting small. You're starting small forward. Jacquez probably goes to the bench then, and then you're looking right now at a Miles Turner, Kyle Kuzma, Peyton Watson, Tyler Hero, and Ryan Rollins starting lineup. Brayden Burries coming off the bench. Clue Ware coming off the bench. I don't know what this Bucks team is going to do next year. I don't know how many wins they're going to have, but I will admit, and maybe this is just me, rose-colored glasses. We're all poo-pooing on the Bucks. No Giannis, and I get it. I'm actually kind of curious right now to see how this thing works. There are some players on this roster, maybe more specifically on the top 7, that I'm kind of curious to see how it all works out, how it shakes out. I don't think Miles Turner is going to be there for the long haul. I don't think Kyle Kuzma is going to be there for the long haul. Honestly, I think if they could find buyers for those two guys right now, you might want to try to find it. But if they roll in with the season, okay, let's see how. I kind of want to see how it shakes out. If I'm being honest with you, I kind of want to see it. We know some of these names. We've seen some of these names. I don't know. Gary Trent Jr. is going to have to get playing time. It's just funny that when you look at the depth chart, he's on the third team and he's making $64 million. But I think it's probably me looking for the positive in this, trying to look for something to root for, trying to look for some positive things to look for. I don't know. I'm curious to see how this all shakes out, how Taylor Jenkins can get, or what he can get out of this group. It's strictly me just trying to be positive. I get it. I understand. I'm not going to try to blow smoke up the you-know-what, but I'm literally looking at this depth chart right now and this is typical me fan looking at this thing and saying, well, maybe they could surprise you. No, I'm not going to do that. Not going to do that. All right, let's take a quick break. We're going to switch gears here for a little bit and talk some Badgers with Mr. RJ Cardinal. He's coming up after these few words. Summer is here, and that means it is the perfect time to give your home a fresh new look with the help from Carpet City Flooring Center in Eau Claire. Whether you're updating a family room or finishing a basement, maybe refreshing a bedroom, or finally tackling that remodeling project that you have been putting off, Carpet City Flooring Center has the flooring options you're looking for. From beautiful luxury vinyl planks to carpet, tile, and more, you'll find quality products and expert guidance every single step of the way. Their experienced team will help you find the right flooring to fit your style, your budget, and with professional installation available, your project can be completed quickly and correctly. Make this the summer that you transform your home. Stop on in to Carpet City Flooring Center in Eau Claire today and discover why so many area homeowners trust Carpet City Flooring Center for all of their flooring needs. The Badgers rolled out the red carpet for their new athletic director last week, chatting with the media, answering some questions and such. So let's bring in our guy, Mr. RJ Cardinal, to kind of go over all that good stuff. Good morning, dude. How you doing?
Morning. Doing pretty good. Like we were just talking off air, trying to stay cool over these next few days before next week's back into the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, man. So, but not going to, you know what? When it's negative 50 degrees out, we'll be wishing for days like this. So put that in perspective.
When those Arctic polar vortexes come in, I'll be wishing it was 92 with a heat index of 100.
Exactly. So, so we got to hear from Sean last week, Sean Eichhorst, the new athletic director, answering some questions with the media and such. I know he was asked a wide range of stuff from Luke Fickell to what constitutes a successful first year in his eyes. Was there anything from some of his comments, RJ, that kind of stood out to you or really stood out to you, or was it pretty like, not nothing really, newsworthy?
I think it was as expected as of what we were talking about last week. When we were talking, you'd asked, what do you think he's going to be saying? And I think we went over it and said, he's going to be getting his house in order, getting to know the people, getting to know where the athletic department is at this point in time. One that was a little surprising, I guess, is when he said we have to cross that aisle and be in lockstep with academics as well. So I don't know if there was a little disconnect there, or from what he's hearing as he's going in, or if this is still just part of the I need to get to know this place since it's been a little bit since I've been involved here. I need to get to know the coaches, the student athletes, and the academic side of the university, as well as, and he called them stakeholders.
Yeah.
So they're not just boosters and season ticket holders anymore. The stakeholders are the season ticket holders, the donors, and the student athletes were the ones he really mentioned in first. Because without the student athletes, you got nothing. Without the donors and the season ticket holders, you got nothing. So your stakeholders. I guess that's a a term we're using now in college athletics. So if you want to make a donation, you can, I guess, feel like a Packers owner, but with a lot less perks, like, getting to go to a shareholders meeting. I don't think you're going to be able to do that just by giving a donation to UW Athletics. But it really sounds like he wants to be able to know what is going on within the Wisconsin community before he starts making any decisions on what's going on. His points on Luke Fickell, he's met with him. He likes the guy. He's charismatic. He's everything you'd want in a football coach. But right now, he really didn't even get into the on-field record, but at least in their initial meeting, he liked the guy. So that's a plus. It's not like they started butting heads and all that kind of stuff. So it'll be interesting to see what happens moving forward here. I know he was asked about some of his past experiences. He touched on hiring Jim Larinaga at Miami. He talked about the Bo Pelini thing without really mentioning any names. and then, never said it was really a mistake, but he's learned from his past stops. So hopefully that's one where, even not having been here in 15 years, being from Wisconsin, understanding the Wisconsin ideal, because he talked about that a little bit too. Hopefully if a decision comes around, we won't be bringing in somebody who has no clue what's going on in Wisconsin. But I mean, our last athletic director did that, so maybe you can learn from that too.
Right. So, I mean, after listening to him, I mean, from the last time we talked last Tuesday, do you feel better? Do you feel any different about the hire? Do you feel confident, better, anything? Does anything change from your side of things?
Not really. It's still one of those hires that it makes sense. You're not rocking the boat. You don't need a sexy hire from your athletic director. You need the right hire. We don't know if that's the case right now yet, but it could end up being that. He's saying all the right things right now. I think he won the press conference. There's people who say, I didn't hear what I wanted to hear, but I think he was being truthful. He doesn't know what's going on in the athletic department. It sounds like maybe there was a disconnect between academics and athletics, and I think the outgoing chancellor, well, now it's past July 1st, so the former chancellor, I think maybe knew she was on the way out and wanted to leave and didn't care. But her previous stops with athletics, those athletic departments fell apart. I mean, look at UCLA right now. They're just struggling to get back to whenever they were before Jennifer Mnuchin got there. And now we're doing the same thing in terms of getting donors back, getting season ticket holders back. It's really just the football program and not the entire athletic program over there. But when your football program is not having retention in season ticket holders and not making money and not doing well on the field, the entire athletic department hurts. So, it's one of those, we're not really going to know how good of a hire or bad of a hire this is until, we see results on the field on things. And quite frankly, this football season isn't really going to be on the athletic director because he didn't hire him. Mm-hmm. It'll be on him if we see another season like we did before, the past few years, not make a bowl game. Then it becomes a really tough decision because you have almost an entire you have half of a class that's the in-state kids that were finally deemed good enough to be recruited. You have a nice recruiting class in general. When you include the rest of the recruits that aren't Wisconsin kids. So there's a lot to consider here, and I like the off-field stuff, but I think some people might not have been asking about year one for that. Just might have been year one of your oversight over football. So I don't know if people didn't like that portion of it, but there are people who were kind of turned off by that. Mostly the people who want to see football be good again, and not really anybody, I'm not saying of substance, but, social media fans who are upset he didn't say what needs to happen for Luke Fickell to keep his job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, staying with football, I got to ask before I forget, what do you think of the jerseys that they're going to be wearing at Lambeau Field against Notre Dame?
So the ones that leaked looked like the off-brand, where it's never, ever going to be worn, and you're looking at it, and you're like, wow, that I think we need to get away from Under Armour here. But then when they were released and you saw them with the pants, and it wasn't just gray like it looked in the leaked pictures, mm-hmm. It was silver or chrome, whatever you want to call it, paired with that red helmet with the silver W on it. I think it's a pretty good look. I think for the Shamrock Series, Notre Dame might dictate the kind of things that need to happen in a jersey. So I don't know if it was a plan to have a color rush uniform, because both teams, outside of Notre Dame still going with their gold helmets, they have blue on blue with gold accents, and we have red on red with silver accents. And each, like, Notre Dame has their blue and a navy blue. We have Cardinal and Rose, and then, silver and gold. So I think it might have been dictated by Under Armour or Notre Dame for Shamrock Series purposes. I'm not sure, but it's going to be neat seeing a color-on-color game like that, because there are very few and far between in college football, at least. Some rivalry games do it and things like that. But, it should be interesting. Really love the helmet. The jerseys, they're okay in my book.
Jerseys almost gave me like Ohio State vibes. That was like the first thing that came to my mind. I don't know if it's just because of the silver aspect with it, but that was kind of what came to my mind right away.
I was thinking early 2000s Rutgers.
Oh, yeah, good one. Didn't even think about that.
When they had like the silver R and accents on their jerseys, and sometimes they wore all red. But yeah, that's where my mind went originally. But they're okay. But I definitely like the helmet.
Yeah. So, kind of, we are in the middle of July. I know Packers, training camp starts in a couple of weeks here. Is it for the college side? Just to remind me again, is it beginning of August when they'll get back to or get to fall practice and get ready for the season?
Yeah. So it's 28 days from your first game, I believe. So you get 4 weeks before your first game. I'm not sure when in August that puts the Badgers start, but so early August they'll start here. Not going to Platteville this year, so they'll be reporting down to Camp Randall. We'll see what goes on there. I'm not expecting too many position battles. It seems like a lot of things are set there. I guess maybe we'll see what happens with the O-line. I'm not too sure about that, but you have some guys returning. You have like Kevin Haywood coming back from a knee injury, who was projected to be a starter before that last year. So it'll be interesting to see how things fall into place. But I'm trying to think, outside of maybe having certain receivers get more reps than others, I don't really think there's going to be too many position battles that, at least off the top of my head right now, I can't think of any. Haven't really dove into it yet, but we can get into that as we get closer to camp.
Right. Yeah, that's actually what I was going to ask you next about any position groups that we should maybe kind of be watching and such. But all right, well, you already answered that for me, so there you go.
Well, maybe the DBs or corners, because I think we're going to need some new ones. If I'm remembering correctly, I think both starters from last year are gone, but maybe that's it.
Well, you got the 2027 kid that's already saying he's going to win the Jim Thorpe Award, so I kind of like that mindset from a corner coming in. Be a little bit. But.
Yeah, you have Ryan Hopkins, the quarterback from Mater Dei, who's an early enrollee freshman, who's impressing everybody inside the program and has his flashes outside of it, and people were saying, wow, this kid could push for a backup spot this year. He was talking about, because everybody's like, if he's looking as good as he does, he could probably leave after this year and go play somewhere else. But he's saying he wants to be reeling off some names of guys who were here for 3 to 4 years and winning Heisman and the O'Brien and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see what happens, but he sounds like he wants to be here too. So you got some young guys with bravado, which you'll love to see. So And I think that the guy down from Florida you're talking about, when you have NFLers retweeting his videos and saying, "How did you let this kid get out of Florida?" I think Wisconsin won a recruiting battle there. It'll be interesting to see up until he signs his letter of intent if his price goes up or not. But that'll be one to watch. And like really this class in general, they got some steals from some bigger name programs in this class. So that's another one where I don't know how that comes into consideration now, unless like you talk to a kid and say, even though he's gone, we're still going to give you this money, but you also have to wait until to see who the next coach they hire is and see what they're coming to implement. So that becomes a whole issue in itself. And in this day and age, you kind of have to do that sooner rather than later. But if earlier you do it in the season, kind of hard to name a head coach unless that person's not coaching at all. So it becomes a real cluster with the situation Wisconsin's in right now. And I'm not wishing ill will on the season. I actually hope Blue Fickle does turn this around and gets it to where you want to be. It seems like you got the young leaders on the defense. Hopefully, with the incoming talent in the transfer portal and all that, you can have an offense that turns it around and be at least somewhat competent and not just win, big games over two ranked teams in Illinois and Washington at the end of the year, but has somewhat of a chance at becoming bowl eligible in October, which would be nice. But we'll see what happens as this thing plays out, and it'll be an interesting season as we're moving forward here with summer workouts and all that kind of stuff.
No doubt. RJ, good stuff as always, buddy. Appreciate the time. Hey, we'll chat with you again next week. Stay cool, okay, bud?
Sounds good. You too. We'll talk to you then.
You got it. There you go. There's RJ Cardinal joining us here this morning. Good stuff as always with him. We got to take a quick break, but we'll be back with plenty more coming up after these few words. Looking for the perfect summer hangout? Well, then you need to make your way on over to the VFW Post 305 in Eau Claire. Enjoy some beautiful views overlooking the river, some great food, some cold beverages, and some of the best live local music that you will find anywhere in the Chippewa Valley. Whether you're meeting friends after work or spending a summer evening outdoors, the VFW Post 305 is the place to be. So with this warm temperature going on, if you need somewhere to cool off with a cool beverage, head on over to the VFW Post 305, located on 1300 Star Avenue in Eau Claire. You watch the home run derby last night, Luke?
I did. More the latter part by the time I was by the TV, but yes. Did you watch it?
I watched the beginning up the first round, all the way up.
So basically,
to the first round.
Between the two of us, we watched the whole thing.
Yeah. So I enjoyed it, except for the pregame stuff was kind of a little over the top. So
I was seeing not great things about that. Then Netflix is the not to make it too media focused when the point is to watch the thing, but Netflix seems to have the most difficulties with sports so far, between somewhat NFL, NBA especially, MLB now with this. Yeah, like they just don't quite have it. I mean, it's not horrible. It's not like I could not watch the home run. Yeah, you can watch the home run derby, but compared to the other platforms, networks, etc., and I was getting a bit of a, how do I put it? Again, because it didn't make me stop watching, but maybe because I'm so used to ESPN, like that's all I've known. I think most of us, that's all we've known.
I feel like they overdo
ESPN.
it with too many voices.
That, like there was talking over at times.
And they'd go back and forth between which group was talking. You know what I mean? Like there was the Barry Bonds and Albert Pujols, which Albert Pujols is like really quiet. Like, dude, speak up. Can't hear you. That group. And then it was like the Hunter Pence and those. Stay with one group, for crying out loud. And then the whole Will Ferrell intro.
That was the one that again, I did not see it, but from what I was seeing online, seems to match what you were watching of like, that it didn't work.
Yeah.
Like maybe even they were noticing it wasn't working. Okay, well, year one. I'm sure year two is going to be different. It felt, the vibe seemed to be a little dead during the home run derby. That might be mic placement. That might be cameras. On the other hand, I wasn't as overwhelmed with edit. Like ESPN was cutting back and forth, and they had all these different ones, whereas here was more of a singular presentation. So, again, to each their own on that. The actual home run derby.
Competition itself I thought was good.
It was. I liked that was a wild vibe of the Philly fans going nuts for Schwarber and then booing the living daylights out of whomever was going against him. What do you expect in Philadelphia? But the ending was wild. Like, okay, so I guess it's going to be short. Oh, home run. Oh boy. Oh boy. And you see Schwarber has this look at his face. I don't know how much are they acting or how much are they really into this, but he looked like genuinely worried, like, I need to win this thing. And then Walker starts hitting home run, and then he won. He came from behind at the very, very end. So there was actually a dramatic end to that. As much as that would have been kind of cool to see the hometown guy win, that's happened before. There's never been a Cardinal. I always like to see a first. So I guess I was happy with the result in that regard.
Miz was rooting for Schwarber. There's an MLB Twitter account. They had a video of Miz wearing the big old Liberty Bell and going. But, I mean, that's a rival thing.
Yeah.
So I would expect nothing less. I don't want anything to do with the Cardinals. So.
I understand that.
No, thank you.
It's the Cardinals. I get it. So,
overall,
it was fine.
All-Star game is tonight then. I usually, and I'll pay attention after we get done with our game tonight, whatever we get home and that's to watch it. I will say, I think it does lose a little luster this year because it feels like a lot of stars are not playing in tonight's game.
Again.
Which,
Again, what are you going to do? I think at this point we've gone through what we can do, and we're just going to have the All-Star game. Okay, fine.
I at least think with baseball, it's legit stuff, though.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, NFL, they don't want to play. NBA, they attempt to play, but
they don't care.
Yeah, they don't care. They're just there. Whereas, okay, baseball, I get it. Some of these guys, whether it's just not, they can't from a pitching standpoint for rest, or they're legitimately hurt. Aaron Judge, with broken ribs and that. So
Byron Buxton.
Yeah, so these are at least more legitimate ones, if that makes sense.
There's the occasional, like, I just want time off. But for the most part, yes, this actually has to do with we're in a run here. There's enough position players that are particular to what they need to do. So I understand that, but it's okay. It's fine. Tonight should be good.
I did appreciate in one of the pre-games, it was kind of a weird thing with Bonds and Albert Pujols, and it was Anthony Rizzo. They were each tasked to nickname a swing of one of the players, and I don't know who said it for Schwarber, but it was perfect. Beer league softball player. And I'm like, yes, with his style of swing.
I could see that. Yeah.
I don't know who, I can't remember who it was, but they're like, that's every beer league slow pitch softball player's dream player. I'm like, yes.
Is he going to be a Hall of Famer?
Schwarber?
Yeah.
I think so.
Because I think Matt Vasgersian said that at one point. I'm trying to remember. It was during one of Schwarber's at-bats. And I'm trying to remember if he said on his way towards a Hall of Fame career, or it was something where it triggered me going, wow, I hadn't thought of Kyle Schwarber as a Hall of Famer, but, and again, I could be wrong. My mind might have made an extra leap, but
I think he is.
Point, yeah.
I think if he continues, it's almost like the second half of his career has just exploded since he's gone to Philly. That's where it's just, he's got 372 career home runs. Does he get to 500? In this pace, I think he's only 33.
Yeah.
He
feels older.
He does feel older, doesn't he?
Isn't that because it's because of 2016, because he started so young, breaking out so young, I should say. He broke out at an early age with the Cubs on a very high-profile stage. So, yeah, I was like, he's got to be in his late 30s, right? And I forgot, like, oh, duh, no, he's just past the cutoff point. You kind of forget
that he played for Washington and Boston, too, between that. Right? I mean, you kind of do. So,
yeah.
I think if he continues his path, it's going to be the momentum's going to carry him to it. Especially, I mean, the DH role and home runs. Yeah.
That has helped a lot, that he doesn't have to be a position player anymore. But, hey, he's taking advantage of it. He has one of the, I always see the stats getting updated, and he has one of the highest home run totals first 3 seasons with a team, I think, or whatever that stat is, all time. It's up with some of the greats.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if the pace continues, I think he's, especially with the loosening standards for the Hall of Fame, whatever one thinks of that, I think that allows a Kyle Schwarber to get in. If he got injured right now and he couldn't play, probably not.
Right.
But his pace is such, he probably, with maybe another year's worth of this, then I think he's not a guarantee, but a strong likelihood for getting it.
I would say he's got better odds than Christian Yelich. And Yelich's got an MVP.
Yeah. Yeah, Christian Yelich. MLB Hall of Famer?
No.
What would he have to do to get there? Or is it too late?
I think it's too late. I mean, he's 34 too, but he's got 239 home runs. He's played a little bit longer, though, too, than Schwarber. He started off in 13. He's got the Gold Glove. He's got the MVP, but I think
every
the Brewers,
MVP gets in.
Yeah. He'd almost have to win like another MVP and maybe a World Series and be a big part of that.
Yeah.
To get in. He's just that 2019, that fractured kneecap's going to be such a big what if, because you look at from 2020, it's like, okay, COVID, push it off to the side. But a complete like weird tenure of his career since that 2019 knee fracture. I mean, he was putting up better numbers than his MVP year in 2018. If he doesn't fracture that knee, is the rest of his career different? Because that's the one thing you could point back to and be like, is that the reason?
That's probably the thing that keeps him from the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Unless he's, like you said, if the Brewers go on the run we've been hoping to see, and Christian Yelich is a core part of that. Okay, so if that happens, let's say this year is the year, and Christian Yelich is clearly the postseason MVP, brings the Brewers their first World Series championship. Does that get him, and let's say after that, maybe he tails off a little bit again and his career fades like most mid-30-somethings. Does that get him in the Hall of Fame? Or is that still not enough?
I don't think it's still enough.
Okay.
I don't.
Very good, basically.
Yeah. I mean, think about all the players that are not in the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Again, I know that's opening up, but is that enough for Yelich?
No, I don't think so. I don't. I mean...
Are there any Brewers right now you think will... I know, like Jackson Chourio, like that's a long ways to go.
Right. No, I don't think so. I mean...
That's not shade, because, again, it's a high standard.
I mean, numbers... Like, Toy Hunter's not in the Hall of Fame. I don't think he's going to get in there, and he's got better numbers.
Yeah. Okay.
So...
There's your answer right there. And, again, that's not really... Even with the loosening standards, like I've been saying, there's still high standards compared to the other Halls of Fame.
Yes. All right, we got to take a quick break as we wrap up the third hour. We'll be right back in just a couple minutes. Summer is the season for golf, pickleball, softball, running, staying active, but aches and pains, they can quickly slow you down, and that's where Chippewa Valley Orthopedics and Sports Medicine comes on in. Their experienced team helps weekend warriors and athletes of all ages get back to doing what they love with expert care and treatment options designed to keep you moving. Play more, hurt less. That's Chippewa Valley Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Get started today by visiting their website at cvosm.com. That's cvosm.com. I know there's not a lot going on this week, but hey, how about WNBA last night with your Lynx 104-100 victory over the Mercury? But Miles is the quickest in WNBA history to reach 400 points, 100 rebounds, and 100 assists. Now, I'm not the biggest WNBA history, person, but it feels like the Lynx have had a good crop of players over the last few years.
Well, I mean, going back to the beginning of the 2010s, 2011 in particular when they won the first title, but they finally figured it out. Again, I'm not going to rag on him too much more because he doesn't own the team anymore, but as much as we talked about Glenn Taylor just seemingly torpedoing the Timberwolves, he also owned the Lynx when they became a dynasty. Let's remember that. He's responsible for Cheryl Reeve, who just hit a milestone a few days ago. I mean, he wasn't necessarily choosing them all, but he was the steward of the team when they were really good, and they've stayed that way. Even they haven't won a title in 9 years, but they've stayed competitive since then. the Miles pick is awesome.
Yeah.
Especially after they blew a pick the other year with part of the trade with Chicago a couple years back. They got Alyssa Peely and then basically just got rid of her. Olivia Miles is such a great pick. I know it's still early, still partway through her rookie season. Bring back Nafisa Collier, combine that. Boy, I'm excited about how the rest of this season could go. It's not going to be super easy, but man, those two, let's see what the chemistry is. Obviously, that has to come together, but I have every reason to think something will happen. They're in good shape right now. As good a shape as some of the usual suspects, if you will. So I mean, it'll be plenty competitive, but I love what I'm seeing from Miles. And point guards should have long careers too. So this is definitely a future is bright situation for Minnesota right now.
Yeah, no doubt. So
and a good come from behind win last night too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, we're going to get cut off here because shot clock's going to cut us off. So we are going to be entering the final quarter. We're going to get back to some more baseball talk. Last to digest, All-Stars oppose the MLB salary cap. Big surprise.
Shocker.
Potentially some more drama between the Players Union and Major League Baseball when it comes to the Olympics now in L.A. of 28. Jeff Passan has a new piece up that we were kind of hinting at a little bit earlier. So we'll kick off the final hour here, chatting some more MLB, some more baseball. We'll be back after these quick news updates from Borgs.